Okay, guys, so our next game is going to be Djem5 versus SPX. This is PvT, I think.
It is, yes.
And
Djem's playing at Protoss and SPX the turn.
I have to say, Electric Circuit, I think this is a very good map for Protoss. I know that a lot of people are saying that you have like these more narrow areas where, you know, there's a chance to make a good push. But I keep thinking you can threaten a backstab from the beginning of, you know, where they leave. That you can buy a lot of time on this map, I feel like.
Well, Terrans whine that this is a Protoss map in PvT. Protoss whine that it's a Terran map in PvP. The truth is that the stats are 52% PvT. So both parties need to shut up and learn to play. This map is balanced in PvT. It's got a lot of stuff that's really good for Terran, and it's got some stuff that's good for Protoss.
All right.
But overall, it's you know, it's pretty balanced in the matchup.
I mean, especially when I look at the fact that there's pretty much no ramps, except of course the side disruptors, things like these. So I think that basically that's really good for Protoss because you can do less things without more things without having to have shuttles, for example. So that's a good thing. And at the same time, you have a lot of bases, so you have a lot of options. It's not like you actually have to take a base that might not be good for you because the push is coming that way. I don't know.
You can always expand away from your opponent on this map.
So, and you get a mineral only, which I think it's... I mean, if a Terran wants to go for a very heavy vultures type of build, then I would think that, okay, that's fine for the Terrans. But the mineral only is very good for the Protoss because I think you do need a lot of zealots for the buffer, and at the same time, that at least speeds up a little bit your next base. So, feels good. Feels good for me.
The mineral only is good for both races, but it is slightly better for Protoss because so if the Terran gets a free third base, which means he can do like a really fast 7, 8, 9 factory semi all-in massive ultra mass tank push. But because it's a mineral only, it's better for Protoss in longer games.
Yeah.
Because Protoss can go for arbiters with only 2 gas. Terran cannot go for upgrades in vessels with only 2 gas. So in that sense, it favors Protoss in the long run.
And also, I think, I'm not sure this is accurate, but if you go for that kind of build, very heavy on the vultures, if it gets stopped, you don't have much of a kind of...
Yeah, the arbiters are going to be a problem.
Yeah, you don't have a follow-up after that.
Damage. Yeah. So generally what you do after that is you expand at the same time, and you play this aggressive style of Terran where you expand and attack all the time. And you try to force the Protoss to run into mines with siege tanks, because you're always attacking a base, basically. That's the follow-up to the mass ultra attack.
Okay, so let's see. SPX so far some pretty standard, right? Nothing crazy. Just one thing though, in this map, I think because usually overall in any kind of map, going for very fast command center like command center first, I feel it's a little bit like it's not risky anymore that much unless the Protoss is going for something really crazy. But on this map,
the only hard counter to command center first is proxy gateway.
Yeah. So,
that's it.
Especially on this map because it's relatively long distances, wouldn't you think it's a smart idea basically to gamble with that and go for it?
It's a good option, you know, because the only thing you lose to really is proxy gate, but it's such a different way to open the game that if you're not comfortable with it, you should just do what you're used to.
Yeah, that definitely is true. Okay, so, whoa, a pylon actually blocking the...
Yes, he's gonna have to lift that factory, delaying it by a little bit.
But you know, he can actually keep the probe under it for a little bit and...
Oh, here's the Zealot at the same time. This is really bad for SPX. Because the Zealot coming in is...
Why is he building so many pylons? I don't know if that's actually that smart, because...
Yeah, he could just keep the probe under it, I know.
Yeah, exactly, and especially...
I don't get these pylons.
And there's another problem.
Expanding money.
Doing that has another big problem, and that is that even if you do have like very early 1 Dragoon, you have to still keep microing very hard, so the SCVs basically will kill it. So you don't get that massive lead unless you have 3 maybe Dragoons. He's going for 1 gateway, so...
Or you could have expanded really fast, you know, because that cost a lot of money for the Terran, and it delayed the machine shop a lot, so an expansion would have been in order, because it would have been safe, it would have given him an advantage, it would have been great. Even maybe like a double expand, given how much he slowed the Terran down, but instead he just kind of blew it on pylons.
Do you think that... I don't know. I mean, I feel okay. The turn probably is not going to try to move out with the first vulture because he might be scared. But if he sends the first vulture, as many turns do, to basically scout, and you do this double expansion, I mean, you can get like 2 or 3 probes, maybe, if you get really lucky with it, I guess? I don't know.
If the Protoss moves out with the Dragoons, but you shouldn't do that if you're expanding.
Yeah.
God. Okay, he's cleaning up the army now. Another Dragoon coming in, but should be a tank on the way, but there's not a tank on the way. There we go, finally a tank.
Ooh, kind of long
So
until that
slow.
tank, yeah.
Yeah. This Dragoon is gonna be a nuisance here.
And the bunker should be finished, right? Right about, like, very close to it. If he uses the vulture to buy in a little bit of time.
Yeah, right, he's doing it, so the bunker is gonna finish. So, so we've got the Tyrant actually at an economic advantage here, because the Protoss did not expand, and we can see the Protoss, Djem's macro is not very good at the same time as his micro. He's not getting a shuttle, he's not getting Reaver Tech, he's expanding at 600 minerals,
Oof.
he's sideblocked, so he should focus on the macro more and on the micro less.
I'm really surprised about this because Djem5, when he plays against Zerg, he's very crisp. I mean, I've seen a lot of his replays playing against Zerg, and he's crisp, especially because you have to control like 3 or 4 zealots, sometimes in different locations, and at the same time in your main.
Yeah.
And so that's why it surprises me.
Right, that he can't, you know, play well in the easier, mechanically easier matchup.
Yeah.
You would expect him to do it in the easier one, if you can do it in the hard one.
Maybe
he is mechanically easier, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I guess that's why I like PvT a little bit more, because it's easier.
Well, mechanically, it's...
Yeah, mechanically. I mean, mechanically, of course. Okay, so...
oh, taking some damage.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, he does know that this is Siege. He doesn't know for now what the follow-up is going to be, if it's going to be more factories or if it's going to be another expansion.
Oh, he wants to scout with the Reaver, but the Reaver is a bit late now, so maybe a turret before he can do anything. Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see. I do not understand, though, what SPX is going for, because he's adding a second factory and he's sending an SCV in a location where you would put a turret to then later on take the mineral.
I think he's playing safe for now. He doesn't know if there's a DT drop coming, he doesn't know what's on the way, so he's just getting some turrets, getting second factory, and I think what he wants to do is take his mineral only as fast as safely possible.
Okay. No, that makes sense. But what I wonder about is the second factory. I understand that idea with the turrets, but I don't understand the second factory, because if the DT or Reaver or whatever is coming is going to be hitting you relatively soon, that factory is not even going to be finished by the time that hits, right? It shouldn't be.
Well, the factory is going to help you against bulldogs. Bulldogs, basically, when you run up with dragoons, and you also have a shuttle with zealots in it. Against that, you simply need like straight up units.
Yeah.
Then, so that's why you get the second factory. Getting 3 bases on 1 factory is a bit risky.
I mean, the way that I see it is, I mean, definitely it's safer. Just, I don't think there's a big difference, because you mentioned that the Reaver is actually late. It should have been out.
Oh, and we got a hidden turret here.
Yeah.
But he's not going to take the bait.
Oh, nice from Djem. Nice.
Alright, so got an opportunity here to maybe do some damage.
4 tanks though.
Reaver. Yeah, 4 tanks. It's
I don't think it can do anything.
I was thinking maybe he could go up to the 3rd base and delay that instead. I think that's what he should be doing, but he's going to try to get some SCVs.
Ooh.
Maybe flying into a trap here.
Ooh. That shuttle is really low now.
Here. He needs to get out of there.
Oh,
but he's suiciding here. He's going to lose this. If the Marines focused on the shuttle, could be it. Oh.
He wants to get the shuttle. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. He got. Oh.
Nice. Nice turret placement.
Okay. So basically, SPX way ahead now.
Yeah.
3 bases against 2, totally safe. Has the world at his fingertips, can go for any style he wants. Basically, he's got 2 good options now. 1, 9 factories, mass vulture, all in.
Yeah.
For the win. 2, take a quick 4th, because you know your opponent's weak.
Yeah.
And get the third gas, get the upgrades, get the vessels, and go for like a doom push with upgrades. Those are the 2 options you could go for now.
You know,
go for really strong.
You know, I think that the better option is, I definitely would favor a heavy vulture build at this point, because it kind of feels like, okay, I'm ahead, I want to put pressure rather than...
Yeah, push him offensively for it.
Yeah, rather than thinking about, especially because when you're trying to expand more, if Djem5, say, gets another Reaver shuttle and actually starts to do damage, he's gonna have more chances to go back into the game. But if you're constantly fighting and pushing and everything else, you feel like you're the one in control.
Yeah.
I think that feels better, but there's a lot of tanks that are moving out, and so far not that many factories are finished. It's only the 4.
This looks like an expansion to me, so he is going for the economic route. He knows his opponent is weak, and he's going to use that to expand again.
Okay.
And I think the reason he's doing this is that he wants to play a normal TVP game, and normally in TVP, you have free gas, you're upgrading, you got vessels, so he wants to try to play standard, even though the map isn't standard, and this is allowing him to do that, to play the style that he's comfortable with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, anyway.
Okay, so let's see. The only thing that I don't understand a little bit, he's really floating a good amount of minerals, and of course a lot, not too much gas because of the fact that the third doesn't have it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, especially because he's actually supply blocked at this point, which is. Ooh.
Well, I mean, there's not too much to say except it's just kind of bad, you know.
Yeah, it's.
I guess he's got to build a run depots basically, so that's going to cost him now. And he seems to be going for the flash style. Yeah, I mean, it's not called flash anymore, everybody does it now, but you know what I mean, with the upgrades, the fast tech. So it is going to be a 4-base, free gas, doom push later on into the game, probably maxed. That's what we're looking at here.
And at the same time also getting the 3 Goliaths, which is kind of what Flash really likes to do, to snipe observers early on, to maybe get some... Oh, a DT drop actually in the main from Djem5.
We got scans though, so it shouldn't do too much. This is actually good for SPX because this is a lot of money. Yeah, one waste scan. It's a lot of money. It's not going to be, you know,
into arbiters or.
However, one thing to point out is that Gems is floating on less money than SPX. So I would say if SPX was macroing perfectly, like bam, he's got this game in the bag. But as it is, I don't know, because he's floating on a lot of money. He's not adding factories as quickly as he could.
Yeah, that's also one of the things that I always wonder about turns. What do you think is better? Is adding a lot of factories at the same time so that you can keep the cycles correctly synced? Or you add as fast as you can just to keep building things?
Well, the thing about adding factories at the same time is actually because it lets your SCDs gather more minerals. Because when you're building a building, you're not getting money. So if you delay building it, you get more money. And that's why you do it. But in this case, he's got so many SCDs, it doesn't really matter. He should just build them as he gets the gas. As soon as possible, because he's on 3 bases, or 4 bases, actually. But if you're on 2 bases and you're doing it all in, you might want to wait and build them all at the same time, just to get more money, you know, it's more economically efficient.
Okay, so first Arbiter is started, and so far no research on the tribunal. We'll see where that goes, but I'd have to say though, it's been 12 minutes, and SPX had a massive chance to get a lead for a very long time. I feel like he should be quite a lot higher in supply right now.
He should be even, if not ahead. But he is a little bit behind.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, he wasn't macroing perfectly while dealing with the drops.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff like that. But what we are seeing is... actually, I was about to say that we're seeing science vessels on par with the Arbiter, which is good for Terran, but actually... The first science vessel hasn't started yet, because he chose to upgrade mine and vulture speed instead.
And got a dropship.
Right, so we are going to see the Protoss with a 1 Arbiter advantage, which is good for him, because if you're even on Arbiters with vessels, you're probably not going to win as Protoss. That's not what you want. You want to be ahead, so that you can take a few EMPs and still get the job done.
Yeah. I do have
you want to have more Arbiters than EMPs, basically.
The thing, though, about Arbiters and EMPs is that usually as Protoss, I think you have a slight advantage, because you're the one choosing if you're going to engage or not. Whereas the EMP is reactive, so it's a little bit more tricky, I believe.
That's true. That is true. You can like come in from a weird angle. I mean, it's not guaranteed that an EMP will negate an orbiter.
Yeah.
But in the worst case scenario, one EMP is negative 1 orbiter. That's why you want to be ahead. We got a drop, by the way. Taking out some probes.
Not doing too much so far, but
2 kills on the tank. The vultures need to get in there and get some stuff done. They're not doing anything.
I think this is only to annoy and try to do something else, because SPX basically now is actually up in supply by 1, but basically even. So I think this is to start a push. I don't think...
Right, yeah. Well, he's not pushing, so he's just harassing.
Yeah,
but if he wants to start a push, that's fine, because then you have the Protoss in his base when you walk up.
Exactly.
And you set up a contain. but he's not doing that. So he should have been focusing on the drop instead of on the vultures out on the map, since he's not pushing anyway. Could have done a lot more damage there. He could have targeted the probes with the tank, and he could have, you know, ran in with the vultures to take out the probes.
But actually,
he didn't do either.
Oh, the vultures are going to show themselves, so these transferred probes probably
so
will go back.
Gonna be safe. Oh no! Oh yeah. He needs to stop that transfer now.
Yeah. And wait, that's actually maybe. I mean, I think the Nexus is more important to keep alive now than the probes.
This is still pretty good for SPX, even though he's not getting the probes, because he's delaying, and he may even get the Nexus.
He should.
Now would be a great time to start a push, because now you know the opponent is going to clear these mines, and take a long time. That's when you go and you set up a contain. So I really hope he's going to do that now. Now's the time to go. While these Dragoons are still in there.
Okay, so this is pretty... I agree, definitely. I mean, this is taking way too long for SPX to push.
I think he's content to just get the Nexus, but he could be getting... Oh, and there we go. Now he's pushing.
Yeah.
He's going to catch these Dragoons in the base. That's very nice. If he chooses to surround them, they'll be trapped in there, and you can get him.
Would you? I think he has to go for the 12, right? Usually, as the you want to go for the freshest base.
Yeah, you want to go
mining.
for the bases. You could just mine it in and go for the base.
Yeah,
it looks like maybe doing.
The observers are actually a little bit too fast. Well, okay, Djem5 actually
reacts. The Zealots being caught by the Dragoons are stuck behind the mines, and the Zealots are fighting the vultures.
And good, very
good
big
stasis, but I don't think. Oh, we got some Zealots being dropped on the tanks, so.
The reinforcements from SPX were actually not here. They're still.
SPX didn't have the entire army, man. If he had had the entire army, that would have been great.
Yeah, he would have won. Straight up won the game.
Yeah, he would have won the game. You're right, because he had like 20 Dragoons sectioned off with mines, and he was fighting Zealots only. So had that been the entire army, that would have been it. That would have been a decisive knockout. But as it is, the game is going to continue. We're going to have a slugfest on our hands, and SPX is expanding again to the bottom left as he's fighting now. And we're going to have a large macro game on our hands here.
The problem is, once you lose that many tanks, I think the game goes severely into the Protoss.
Yeah, but these tanks just came out now, and he's going to keep these tanks at least.
At least
but yes, he did lose a lot of tanks. But he's making 3 at a time. And he's trading alright. Gonna lose these tanks. He needs to drop a scan.
No scan still. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Alright, more Terran reinforcement now coming in. And we have a very low gameplay count for the Protoss, which explains why it's total in 3000.
You're right.
Gateways.
It's actually very... I mean...
We have more factories than we have gateways, for shame.
And the best part is that you actually produce really fast... how do you call this? The vultures produce extremely fast.
Oh yeah.
And they were actually really good. Like even later against just Dragoons, they actually don't do that poorly. If you mine a little bit, it's really annoying to deal with them.
The vultures should not be underestimated. They are a big part of the Terran ball. We have another gas being taken by the Terran at the bottom left. So that's going to really help him get those upgrades out. More vessels, more tanks.
Yeah. He doesn't have any vessels, I think. Okay, one vessel, but...
There's like an EMP. So he's got that.
Yeah, that's good.
And we got the Terran here about to max out against 154 Protoss because of that low amount of gateways. So if he knew this, he could go just like kill his opponent now, like take a base out or two. But he doesn't. So he's just gonna set up a position in the middle here. He's gonna split the map. He's gonna spam mines everywhere. Or he should anyway. He should spam mines.
Yeah. I do think that I would assume that he would be scanning from time to time the main of the Protoss just to confirm if there's like a carrier switch or something like that.
Yeah, you should. Definitely, you should always check for the carrier switch late game. Just keep scanning all game long.
Especially once you have like 4 bases, you have so many scans.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We got 2 orbiters here dangerously come together, and EMP could take that out.
And only 1 stasis that's actually extremely poor.
Only 1 stasis on 2 tanks only, so...
Yeah.
Underwhelming. Basically a wasted stasis.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because one thing that I always wonder is a lot of Protosses would go in with the Arbiters, and maybe from fear of losing them or getting impeded, they always stasis the tanks on the front, which is really poor because you actually... Yeah, you create a wall for the Terran, basically.
Yeah, I know. Well, right now we got Max versus Max with only 1 stasis, and there is an EMP, so... Or 2 EMPs, in fact.
Oh,
so this is
gonna get it?
good for SPX. One MP goes off, but on the wrong orbiter.
But the other arbiter gets the stasis, but falls
Not
as well.
enough stasis though.
Yeah, this is not a good position, I think, for... Actually, coming from the other side is not bad, but...
Nah, he's gonna win this fight. Terran's gonna win this. And it's gonna allow him to deny another base. Also to take a base out. It's just, you know, it's tank reliant Vulture versus Dragoon Zealot. And that favors Terran. You need more orbiters, you need more Templars, and he doesn't have it. He's got a bad army.
And also the upgrades is one of the things that always are really... Oh, nice explosion there. It's very interesting how much of a difference it makes to get just one extra upgrade for the Terran.
Oh yeah, Terran's ahead on upgrades too, by the way. He's 2-1 and he's about to be 3-2 versus only 1-0-0.
Yep. So once he gets the 3-2, it's... Ugh. It's disgusting how powerful the Terran army gets at that point.
Yeah, Protoss needs to have like better units. Orbiters and carriers and Templars.
Yeah.
Basically. Dragoon Zealots don't cut it. They are inferior when compared to their counterparts in the tank and the Vulture.
Yeah.
So what they need are those extra high-tech units.
The only thing that I think is almost always like a better situation for the Protoss when you're playing, and even at this stage of the game when the Terran is very high in supply, is that Zealots, if you catch your opponent unsieged and you run in with Zealots and you mix with the entire army, suddenly the Terran army disappears because they just splash everything. That's the only.
It's definitely something to look out for. If the Terran messes up, you gotta punish it.
Yeah. But that's the only thing. I think, apart from that, of course, the spells are very good, but it's very difficult to catch a very significant army. At the same time, it's very difficult. You can get EMP. So that's, I think, the only move that always favors a little bit the Protoss.
Right now, I just want to point out that the Terran has a bigger bank than the Protoss.
Yeah. But
and again, we still only have 2 orbiters out.
They normally, I think, have a bigger bank because they are more cost efficient. So even if they are, you know, a little bit lower or up in supply, it's harder for them to spend all their money.
Well, Protoss should have a higher bank because Protoss should have more bases.
Yeah, yes.
Doesn't have more bases right now because he's been losing the entire games. SPX could be more aggressive here. You know, he could press the advantage, and he seems to be scanning for carries now. I heard a bunch of scans, so that's good. Of course, there are no carries on the way, but you just wanna check.
I mean, at this point, if I was SPX, I'd probably add like 4 starports and, you know, just research Cloak. Just in case, because I think it's a much more efficient way to deal with carriers than trying to go Goliaths. Oh,
we got a recall.
Where to? Oh, okay, at the bottom. At the bottom corner.
Yeah, taking out the base.
That's
so
smart.
Orbiter did sneak for them. Looks like SPX is going to use this opportunity to attack the army, which is now
he's not attacking with everything. And it's only going for a small choke on the small bridge, which is gonna buy a lot of time for Djem.
He's pushing through here. It's alright.
Okay,
he's gonna take
no.
out the base.
Yeah, the
he's
base.
gonna trade bases here, basically.
Ooh, that's a lot of
he's
probes.
money, remember? So
Ooh,
I
that's
believe
a lot
that favors
of
him.
probes.
But he's gotta find a base at the top right. You need to find that and shut that down.
I do have to say that even though SPX has a bigger bank, he doesn't have that much mining left for him.
No, he needs to retake the base he lost.
Yeah, instantly.
And he needs to deny the base at the top right. But he seems to be playing the starving game. He wants to starve out his Protoss opponent instead of, you know, engaging directly. It seems to be his plan here.
I don't know if you want to do that on a map this big. I mean, he's still in a very good position. He's still ahead, so he can definitely go for that. But if this game continues this way, I think Djem5 can actually win this.
Yeah, the Orbiters are gonna get out of control when they start recalling, so SPX needs to either fortify his bases really well and just sit on his ass and not do anything, or attack now.
Yeah.
And keep attacking and keep forcing stasis fields out of
and expand while attacking. So yeah, definitely. He's attacking from one side, but he's going actually with this very small army to the full power where the production is. That doesn't seem... Okay, Djem5 is actually not sure.
It's good to set up and contain outside of the gateways, so if that's what he's going for, that's good, because then he can get the bases off of that. And I have to hear it back for a minute.
Okay, so what I'm looking at here, what it really surprises me, is that I believe that right now, Djem5 is retaking this game, and mostly because SPX, I think, is losing track. He's not really getting all his army together. He has a lot of different groups of units trying to go to different locations, while Djem5 is solidifying his position with the army only on one location. So, and SPX is not taking any other bases. He's still only on these two, which are about to mine out. We've got really little money here. So as soon as these bases are done, the bank of SPX is going to start drying really fast. Now, he still has a pretty big supply, and he still is doing pretty well. But if this continues this way, I don't like it. I don't like it. Djem5 is mostly gonna lose this. Okay. So it seems like SPX is eventually breaking through this. And if he kills this base, I would assume that that would be pretty much GG. I don't see much more because Djem5 is also running low a little bit on money himself. So at this point, both players have to be careful and need to get another base. Okay, so Djem5 does find this one. Should be denied. And let's see. Let's see if this actually manages to break this position. I don't know. If there is any arbiters that have any spells. Okay, let's see. 1, 2 stasises. I believe if he brings both arbiters, he can definitely crush this army and continue playing with what he has. Okay, emergency DTs are going to try to come out, although these tanks are 3-1, so they're going to be... Oh, and there's a vessel as well, so probably not going to do anything about it. Where are the arbiters? Not bringing them. So Djem5 seems to be happy with taking the 9 o'clock instead of trying to save this base. I mean, it's not 100% like a bad idea, but it's definitely going to be tricky. Oh, and a recall at this this base that has pretty much no mining. Although actually even denying this 500, 600 minerals is going to do something, but okay, so this base is going to fall. 6 o'clock is going to fall. We have another base taking another 3 o'clock, which
looks like okay.
Hi. So we do have like a crazy base trade. Both players are trying to just kill the other guy's, you know, economy, and unfortunately, that bank that you mentioned, I think, is
coming to play now. Yeah. Another thing to mention is that Protoss almost never beats Terran in a base trade. Terran can defend with like the few units coming out of the factory so much better than Protoss can.
And at the same time,
yeah.
And at the same time, there are two other things, and this is when you're trying to move through the entire map with a small group of units very fast to, I don't know, save a base or something. It's kind of easy to start eating mines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that work better for the Terran in the very late game.
Yeah, you can float out your buildings.
Yep.
You can use mines to buy time and siege transplant mines to chip away at the attacker a little bit. So, and
I mean, for secondary it was really touch and go, because I think Djem5 did have the opportunity to keep his base alive, although he didn't really know that. He didn't know how many units were actually attacking him, but he had a chance to actually pull that off. Oh, losing the arbiter there. Oh, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, it's just gonna an A move here, pretty much. More units.
But yeah, for a second it was actually really close, so... Pretty nice game by SPX, although he did have that very early lead. And I have to say that this game took a very long time considering that lead.
Yeah, he didn't really use the lead to do anything.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned the two things you could have done. He didn't really use the situation to his advantage. He just kind of played naturally with the advantage, which is why the game took a long time. But he did win in the end, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I do think is pretty good for SPX is that if you win this kind of game after 28 minutes, even if you had an early lead, it does give you some confidence to say, oh, okay, I can play against this guy, you know, in the late game.
Yeah.
This is going to be fine. I don't know if it's going to impact the second game, we'll see about that, but okay, pretty much over. I think Djem5 should know this.
Yeah, we're approaching fantasy GG here.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at...
We don't see a GG soon.
When you're at 60 supply, and that's considering 30 probes, although he probably doesn't know he has 30, but... you see 10 tanks, that's enough to say, oh, okay, I lost. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. When your entire income is 6 probes, and your opponent has like 3 bases, then yeah.
Alright. Okay, so game number 1 goes to SPX. let's see, because that was on the first map. I'm really interested in seeing how it's gonna go in the next.
Oh, it's PvT on Aztec.
Yeah.
On PvT on Aztec, if you don't know how to play on the map, it's mega Protoss favored. It's like there's a Zealot, so you can't expand, and then there are Dragoons on the ramp, and it's like you can't take a third base. It's just fucking terrible. But once you figure out how to play on Aztec, it's either a balanced, if not Terran favored.
Yeah, I think so too. One of my favorite things about the Aztec, as when if you're playing the Terran side, what I mean. One of my favorite things, there's a lot of opportunities to abuse things. There are the drop area, if you want to go for any drops, you can chain a vulture drop to the main and a tank drop on the ledge. Ugh. And if the Protoss doesn't actually know that this is coming, that's more than enough to have them wait, not mind. It's a nightmare.
You can control the game very well by doing that, and then you know the Protoss knows that, so you know he's going to get a shuttle.
Yep. So you can get a Wraith.
If he's going to get a shuttle, he's probably going to want to go Reaver with that, so it's not a waste. And then you get a Wraith, which shuts down that. And if you can just get into the mid-game on even footing, you get 4 easy bases. And then after that, you can draw a very short line of tanks and mines across the middle and take 75% of the map.
Yeah.
With just like a very short line of tanks.
Well, let's see how they do it, because I mean, maybe they know exactly how to play this map, or maybe they don't. It's very difficult to know, you know, especially because Aztec is, I don't think, a very popular map.
No, not really.
So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people just basically didn't play it.
A lot of problems that Terrans have on this map is that they don't know how to expand. They don't know how to take the natural safely, pretty much. But what you have to do is you have to get an early bunker and a walling, and then get a tank behind a bunker and do a siege expand like that. That's one of the safest ways to do that.
Well, okay, let's see how they do, how they actually go with it.